Halloween! You might have mistaken us for pumpkins, but I'm Rhiannon Trutanich, and this is Popeye Trutanich, of course. And we're going to be sharing ways to celebrate the spooky season with your canine companion. 2020 is a very different type of year, but it doesn't mean that you can't have some Halloween fun with your pup from the comfort of your own home. Now, just because you can't take your dog to a pet parade or a costume contest this year doesn't mean that it isn't fun to dress up with your pup on Halloween. As you can see, Popeye and I love dressing up together. Now, there's a couple things that you're going to want to remember when dressing your dog up for Halloween. The first thing, of course, is if your dog doesn't like costumes, don't dress him or her up. You'll know if your dog doesn't like costumes if he or she is trying to take parts of it off or just seems genuinely uncomfortable. You're also going to want to make sure that your dog isn't getting too warm or doesn't seem bothered by the costume at all. If he or she does, you definitely want to take that costume off of him or her. Now, if your dog doesn't like costumes, there are a couple of things that you can do. You can get a cute little festive hat like this, permitting, of course, that your dog likes hats. You can also get a little festive, fun Halloween bandana to tie around your pup, or you can even get a cute little festive collar like this. This is Popeye's jack-o'-lantern collar, and it even has a little bow tie. It's really, really cute, and it won't bother your dog at all. Now, if your dog does like costumes, there are so many options out there, and there's a lot of options so you can match your dog. I think Popeye is extremely embarrassed by me, but that's okay. Here I have Popeye's little puppy latte. I call him Pumpkin Spice Popeye in this. It's super cute, and it's kind of a little bit just fun to do, and it kind of raises both of our spirits, I think, when he dresses up. Here's his Sunday costume. His grape costume, really, really cute. There's so many options out there at different stores. You can also go online, lots of options as we're trying to stay home as much as possible. Or you can even get creative and make your own costume for your dog. How cute is that? Now, even though you can't take your dog out on the town or to a pet parade or a contest to show him or her off, you can do something else. You can take photos of your dog and maybe get a couple friends or family members in on it and post photos on social media and hold a little digital pet costume contest. I'm sure that your friends and family who follow you would love to see photos of your dog dressed up. How cute is that? Now, another way to spend the Halloween season with your canine companion is to carve your pumpkin to look just like your dog. I call it a Popeye lantern when I carve pumpkins to look like him. You can find dog templates online for pumpkin carving. You can use a photo of your dog as inspiration, or you can just sit in front of your dog and look at him or her as you carve the pumpkin. I will give you a tip though for that one. You're gonna need to have a lot of treats handy. It's a really fun way to spend time with your dog too, and can just help you guys bond and enjoy the season together. You can also use that social media contest idea. If you have family members at home who also want to carve one to look like your dog, you guys can all carve them, put the photos of them up on your social media, have friends and family vote, and it's just another way to kind of make it fun and interesting during the Halloween season. Now, another way to have some Halloween fun with your pup this season is to have some dog-friendly Halloween decorations around your house. Of course, we have our friend Mr. Bones over here, but we also have his creepy canine companion. We also have a kitty over here who Popeye is especially fond of. And it's just a really, really cute way to kind of have some decorations that are not just for people, but pets too. You might even see your dog sniffing them around the house, who knows. But you can also have a cauldron filled with little dog biscuits, give to your pup every now and then. And it's just a really, really cute way to include your dog in the Halloween season. You guys can hang out and decorate together, but fair warning, if your pup is anything like Popeye, he or she might not be too interested in the decorating, and you will end up doing most of the work. But that's okay. After you guys finish decorating, you can curl up on the couch together, put on a spooky movie, and it's a really nice way to not only get into the spooky season, but also spend some time with your pup. Now, what is Halloween without treats, right, Popeye? Halloween is a great time to make your canine companion a festive little Halloween snack. Of course, you're gonna want to always check with your dog's vet before making him or her any type of food, just in case your dog has any dietary or allergy restrictions. Now, every year I make these spooky sandwiches for Popeye to enjoy during the Halloween season. It's basically like a peanut butter sandwich, but for dogs. And it's amazing. I kind of want one too. Just need a few ingredients. You're gonna combine 2 tablespoons of canola oil with 1/2 a cup of all natural peanut butter. Make sure it's all natural and make sure it does not contain xylitol. Combine that in a bowl. Add 1 cup of water with 2 cups of whole wheat flour and 1/2 cup of white flour. Mix that really well. You're gonna knead the dough until it's about 1/4 inch thick, and then you can use a festive cookie cutter. I use a pumpkin one, naturally, but you can use anything, ghosts, bats, witches' hats, whatever you want. You're going to bake those at 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. Wait until they're nice and cool, and then you're gonna take more of that all-natural peanut butter and put it between 2 of the cookies, and it makes a cookie sandwich. And it smells so good. I promise you, your kitchen will smell amazing after that, and you will have a very happy pup on your hands. Popeye and I hope that you and your pup have a ghoulishly great Halloween. These 2 pumpkins better head back to the patch, but if you give any of these ideas a try, tag us on social media using the hashtag Popeye's Pumpkin Patch.
Having 3 small children, homeschooling becoming the new norm, I took a leave of absence from my corporate job and really wanted to find something to do that I could incorporate my family while still being a homeschool parent.
Natalie Buther's 20-year experience in corporate sales came in handy when she launched her small business called Party in My Yardie in June.
I saw all these folks having graduation parades and birthday parties and drive-by gender reveals, and I thought this is a great opportunity to really focus on not canceling celebrations and canceling birthdays, but let's celebrate in a different way that's safe and that people feel comfortable.
With the help of her 2 daughters, they've been making and staking signs for dozens of customers, including one she says she'll never forget.
We did a sign for a 95th birthday for somebody's grandma, and she's in an assisted living facility, so because of COVID, she wasn't able to come out and visit with her family in person. So we set up the sign, Happy 95th Oma, and we faced it to the nursing home, so she was able to come to the window, and her family was all standing outside with her on the speakerphone, and she was crying and, thanking them through the window. And so it was really special to see something that we could create such a memory for her when it could have been a terrible celebration for her being away from her family.
On this day, I got to meet Natalie and her kids outside of the Torrance Police Department, where they donated this special sign that says, "Heroes wear badges."
They are our heroes, and now more than ever, we need them. They need our support.
12-year-old Maddie and 10-year-old Logan say they help their mom to make sure every sign is flawless.
Sometimes I think, oh, this doesn't look good. Oh, maybe we should move it there.
Like for a 10-year-old, they could do like a perfect 10, like that.
She pays us with dinner, food, whatever, a roof, all that kind of stuff.
All kidding aside, the girls say they're motivated by their mom, who took a giant leap of faith to start a new business that allows them to spend more time together.
I tell her how proud I am of her all the time because starting from scratch like that is such an amazing thing.
We're very proud of her and thankful that she puts a roof over our head.
We love you so much.
Love you.
Natalie says this has been a very different type of work environment, but she wouldn't have it any other way.
To be able to participate in a way that brings people excitement and brings joy to them, it's been super fulfilling, more fulfilling than I could have ever imagined.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Torrance, California, does hereby commend, honor, and congratulate Leroy J. Jackson for his dedication, professionalism, and contributions to the City of Torrance.
A virtual standing ovation for a man whose legacy withstands 54 years of commitment and service to the city of Torrance.
We are deeply impacted by what Leroy Jackson has given to us. He just has a work ethic that has no ends. He will be here early in the morning to late at night and leads by example. And it's not just an example, as I said, to the employees, but also to the elected officials and also to the community.
Jackson, who moved to Torrance in the mid-1960s with his wife Connie, both from Ridgecrest, California, built not only a legacy for the city, but roots in Torrance, raising 6 children through the decades.
But somehow we fell in love with Torrance, and Leroy in particular grew deep, deep roots. And I am never going to get him out. He started and he didn't have any desk, so he stood at a file cabinet in personnel. And he read all the folders. And that got him a lot of knowledge that helped him immensely in the following years to come.
I'm Leroy Jackson. I'm city manager of the city of Torrance. Sometimes we get ahead of ourselves, so we tend to take action and then ask for input. But we'd ask that you open the matter up, you encourage citizen or employee input, depending on which commission it is, and you listen to that input before you take action.
Jackson began as a personnel analyst in 1966, eventually working his way up to city manager in 1983. Serving 37 years in that role, he is only the 4th CEO to lead the city, helping to maintain its core values, traditions, and shaping a community that touts nearly 150,000 residents, close to 2,000 employees, and an operating budget of more than $330 million. During his tenure, Jackson has worked with 8 mayors, countless department heads, and has become a wealth of knowledge and resource to the community. Many call him the boss, but more affectionately, their friend and mentor.
There was always opportunity to grow, not necessarily big promotions and what have you, but mentally in assignments. And I did enjoy working for Leroy, and that's when you enjoy where you work, that's and who you work for, that's a blessing.
Working for Leroy personally, sitting within 10 feet of his desk for 20 years has been my honor. I couldn't have asked for a better mentor, friend, confidant when I'm struggling with something, with either a work product or family. I bounce the ideas off of him that I'm having, or I just go in and vent, and he lets me. He always has a clever thought, and he somehow always turns it around that if I went in crying, I come out laughing, and I come out stronger.
When I think about how Leroy has managed crisis and how he's actually made us stronger through crisis, number one is he understands his people and he allows them to be the best at what they do. So in times of crisis, Leroy pauses and says, who's the right person to handle this and this and this? And he sets expectations and then he gets out of their way. I would say the other attribute that Leroy demonstrates that has allowed us to weather storms is he is people first. He is constantly thinking about the individual, whether it's individual employees or the individuals in the community. His decisions reflect this awareness that while we can make sterile and numbers-based decisions, those decisions ultimately impact people, and that's what's in the forefront of his mind as we move forward and make decisions in difficult situations.
He has a way of rationalizing it that's uncanny. I would say that recommendation makes no sense to me. And he would somehow be able to draw either from another project or draw from a personal insight or explain it based on what was going on in current events. And so you would leave saying, oh, that's why they went that way. He was very good at that, at making you feel like once the recommendations came in, we had to implement them the best way we could and that they made sense. And Leroy is very genuine. He doesn't pretend to be anyone he's not. He doesn't try to fit what would be a perception of a CEO, or he doesn't want to fit into what is the fashion statement of the day. Leroy enjoys his boots, enjoys his suits, enjoys that his wife cuts his hair, and that's Leroy.
Jackson has always had a deep appreciation for history, many referring to him as a walking encyclopedia of Torrance. And over the course of his time leading Torrance to become fiscally sound, safe and secure, and one of the most desired cities to work and live in, he's held his position with modesty, transparency, and integrity. Jackson has always held dear to him the values of working as a public servant, imploring the ideal that all city employees are custodians of something truly special.
He chose a kind of department head that reflected his values, and I think that those values will continue through the executive staff, and I think those values are important to the city, to the community, as well as to the electeds.
You know, Leroy's wrote a lot of chapters in the history of Torrance, and when time comes, years to come, they will have a big place in that book for Leroy's incredible leadership on all these things, including this field that's behind us. Leroy was instrumental in making staff get involved in this, but he did that with so many other things. There's so many things that I know that Leroy is leaving the city and feeling to himself he didn't get it all done. And I have to tell him that he's done an incredible job. So I want him never to feel that he didn't accomplish all the things he thinks he could have done.
Leroy has shaped our city. And even though he's leaving, we have the Leroy legacy. So he's built a framework which has shaped our city. He has people in place. People know the Torrance way. And it's through this way that we will continue going forward, and we will always be moving in the right direction because that's the foundation that he laid for us. So he will still be here.
And in that foundation, the balance of work and family life has always been a top priority, never missing a moment in any of his 6 children's special events at school, as a father, and now as a grandfather and great-grandfather.
He always put family first, and I think I know that he encouraged us to do the same. And the city will be there after you take care of your family. And so I think he found a good balance between taking care of the family and running a big and productive city like the city of Torrance.
I've been here 20 years with them. I hope to be here for another extended period of time. I said, you're going to have a 100-year impact on this community. And that's unique. I think it's unheard of.
During Jackson's last virtual meeting as city manager, a man who is known to shy away from the spotlight was the center of much-deserved attention as many tuned in to watch and listen. Jackson shared heartfelt thank yous with the mayor and city council, along with his executive team for their support through the years.
Mayor and council, I thank you so much for these years you've allowed me to serve this city and for all of the opportunities open to me. Bonnie and I have had our lives and our careers so intertwined with Torrance. It is a part and parcel to who we are. Our first son was born just 3 days after my first day with the city. Each of our 6 children became part of the City Hall. I've deeply enjoyed my career with the city and have been blessed with knowing and being mentored by Edward J. Ferrero, my predecessor, and being part of his executive staff. All the department heads I work with, Jack McKinnon, Chief Lucas and Sloniker, Chief Koenig, Glenn Kirkruff, Harry Van Bellum, and others, each helped me along the way, voices from the past. There also has been my staff, Liz Rojas, Dan McLean, Kathy Keene, Brian Sunshine, Michael Smith, Ellie, Dom, Jay, Katie, Jill, Zelma, Kathy, and Kim, and so many others now and across the years. They were and are the hard-working team that made this office of city manager and me shine. I'm so proud of the organization I have managed. The city family met all challenges and constantly served council and our citizens through tough years and good, through crisis and opportunity, and through ever-happening challenges. The last 6 months have been proof in the pudding of their ability to step up to cyber, COVID, civil unrest, and financial crisis. With Rom, this team will carry you and the community in and through the challenges of the future. As always, I share with you how much of who I am is family. My spirited partner, Connie, my children have all been and are part of who I am. And so, I close wishing all of Torrance the best and knowing the best is yet to come. Thank you.
While traditional retirements of this nature would allow for hugs, handshakes, and group photos, this year's pandemic limited the social interaction that would have otherwise held a standing room only for the outgoing city manager. The council surprised Jackson by dedicating his last day on the job as Leroy Jackson Day in the city of Torrance.
Mr. Jackson, on behalf of my colleagues on the council, the 7 mayors, elected mayors that preceded me, and all the elected officials that have served with you, and I say it with you, congratulations. But at this time, my colleagues and I have a surprise proclamation that we would like to present to Mr. Jackson. To hereby proclaim September 30th, 2020 as Leroy J. Jackson Day in the city of Torrance. And I ask the entire community to join in this celebration as we applaud Leroy's 54 years of continuous service and 37 years as city manager. On behalf of the city council, we wish Leroy the very best in his retirement. Presented this 22nd day of September 2020.
He leaves a legacy that's unique to the individual. I think everyone has a unique perspective about his legacy. The one that strikes me the most, that's personal to me, is his small town, aw shucks personality that he brings to a very, very important position. Why that is such a legacy for me is because there's a humility that he carries in everything that he does, and that humility is a thread in the decisions he makes. It takes the ego out of it and boils it down to what's truly important.
Aside from Jackson's famous cowboy boots and gentle disposition, his legacy and profound impact on Torrance will be written in the history books for many generations to know.